Stop right there before you take another step backward into that familiar prison of pain, before you dial that number one more time, before you convince yourself that somehow this time will be different. I need you to understand something that will change your life forever. You are not a recycling plant for broken relationships. You are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to grow. You are not a storage facility for other people's emotional baggage. You are a human being with unlimited potential, and every second you spend looking backward is a second stolen from the magnificent future that's waiting for you. The most dangerous place you can live is in reverse. I've watched brilliant people destroy their destiny by constantly rewinding their life story, playing the same broken record over and over again, hoping that somehow the song will change. But here's what I need you to understand. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Your old relationships are not going to suddenly transform into something beautiful. They ended for a reason, they failed for a reason, and that reason hasn't changed just because you're lonely, just because you're scared, just because you think you can't do better. Think about it this way. When a building is condemned, no amount of fresh paint will make it structurally sound. When a tree is dead at the roots, no amount of watering the leaves will bring it back to life. When a relationship has proven itself toxic, no amount of hoping, praying, or pretending will change its fundamental nature. You cannot resurrect what was never truly alive in the first place. You cannot fix what was broken from the beginning. You cannot build a future on a foundation that has already crumbled. Every time you go back, you're not just returning to a person, you're returning to a version of yourself that you've already outgrown. You're shrinking back into old patterns, old fears, old limitations. You're putting on clothes that no longer fit, trying to squeeze into spaces that are too small for who you've become. This is not just uncomfortable, it's damaging to your soul. It's like trying to put a butterfly back into a cocoon or asking a tree to become a seed again. Growth is not reversible, and neither should your personal evolution be. Your past relationships are like a museum. You can visit them in your memory, learn from them, appreciate what they taught you, but you cannot live there. Museums are for dead things, and you are very much alive. You have a future to build, dreams to chase, a destiny to fulfill, but you cannot drive toward your future while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. The windshield of your life is bigger than your rearview mirror for a reason, because where you're going is far more important than where you've been. Listen to me carefully. Every relationship in your life serves a purpose, but not every relationship is meant to be permanent. Some people come into your life for a season, some for a reason, and very few for a lifetime. The mistake most people make is trying to turn seasonal people into lifetime companions. They try to force reason-based relationships into permanent positions. This is not just foolish, it's destructive to your personal growth and development. Here's what happens when you try to extend a relationship beyond its natural expiration date. You create artificial life support for something that was meant to die. You become a life support system for dead dreams, broken promises, and expired potential. You start pouring good energy into bad investments. You start giving your best years to someone who gave you their worst behavior. You start believing that your love is so powerful it can change anyone, fix anything, heal everything. But love without wisdom is not love, it's enabling. Love without boundaries is not love, it's codependency. Love without standards is not love, it's desperation. The truth is, some people are in your life to teach you what you don't want, not to give you what you do want. They're there to show you your patterns, reveal your weaknesses, and expose your areas of growth. They're like a mirror that reflects back all the work you still need to do on yourself. Once you learn the lesson, the teacher's job is done. Trying to keep the teacher around after graduation is like trying to stay in elementary school when you're ready for college. It's not just unnecessary, it's counterproductive to your development. Your emotional energy is like money in a bank account. Every time you invest it in the wrong relationship, you're making a withdrawal from your future happiness. Every time you go back to someone who has already proven they cannot handle the responsibility of being in your life, you're choosing familiar misery over unfamiliar possibility. You're choosing the devil you know over the angel you haven't met yet. This is not wisdom. This is fear disguised as love. People get addicted to the drama of dysfunction because it feels like passion. They mistake intensity for intimacy, chaos for chemistry, fighting for caring. But real love doesn't require you to lose yourself. Real love doesn't ask you to compromise your values, lower your standards, or accept less than you deserve. Real love doesn't leave you questioning your worth, walking on eggshells, or making excuses for someone else's behavior. Let me tell you something about dysfunction. It's addictive precisely because it's unpredictable. Your brain gets hooked on the emotional roller coaster, the highs and lows, the uncertainty, and the intermittent reinforcement. It's like gambling. You keep pulling the lever, hoping for the jackpot. But most of the time, you lose. And just like gambling, the house always wins. The house in this case is dysfunction itself. It wins by keeping you trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment, investment and loss, love and heartbreak. You become addicted to the potential of what could be rather than accepting the reality of what is. You fall in love with someone's representative, not their authentic self. You fall in love with their Sunday behavior, not their Monday through Saturday reality. You fall in love with their words, not their actions. You fall in love with their promises, not their performance. And when reality doesn't match the fantasy, instead of accepting the truth, you double down on the delusion. This is where toxic hope comes in, the kind of hope that keeps you stuck rather than setting you free. Healthy hope is based on evidence, patterns of positive behavior, and consistent growth. Toxic hope is based on wishful thinking, selective memory, and the belief that you can love someone into becoming who they should be. Healthy hope moves you forward. Toxic hope keeps you trapped. Learn the difference because your future depends. Here's a truth that might hurt but will ultimately heal you. The person you keep going back to is not the person you fell in love with. That person exists only in your memory, preserved like a photograph from a better time. The person standing in front of you now has shown you through their actions who they really are. Believe them. Stop trying to resurrect someone who has already died in the relationship. Stop trying to water dead flowers, hoping they'll bloom again. You see, people show you who they are in moments of stress, conflict, and challenge. When the pressure is on, when life gets difficult, when they have to choose between their comfort and your well-being, that's when their true character emerges. Anyone can be loving when it's easy. Anyone can be kind when it costs them nothing. Anyone can be loyal when there are no temptations. But who are they when it's hard? Who are they when they're angry? Who are they when they think no one is watching? Who are they when they have to sacrifice something they want for something you need? The person you fell in love with was probably their best self, the version of themselves they presented when they were trying to win you over. But relationships aren't built on first impressions or best behavior. They're built on consistency, character, and what happens when the honeymoon phase ends. They're built on how someone treats you when they're tired, stressed, disappointed, or facing their own demon. They're built on whether someone chooses love or selfishness when they can't have both. Stop falling in love with potential and start falling in love with proof. Stop being impressed by what people say they'll do and start being moved by what they actually do. Stop making excuses for inconsistency and start demanding reliability. Stop accepting someone's worst because you remember their best. Their best is not their norm, it's their exception. Their pattern is their truth. Their consistency is their character. And their character is what you're actually in a relationship with, not their potential. Your future self is counting on you to make better decisions today. The person you're meant to become cannot coexist with the person you used to be. Growth requires separation from anything that keeps you stuck in old patterns. Every time you go backward, you delay your own evolution. You postpone your own breakthrough. You choose to remain a smaller version of yourself because it feels safer than growing into the giant you're meant to be. But here's what most people don't realize. Every time you choose the past over the future, you're not just staying the same. You're actually moving backward. You're not maintaining your current position, you're losing ground. While you're stuck in the same old cycles, everyone else is moving forward. While you're trying to fix what's broken, other people are building what's new. While you're investing in what failed, others are investing in what's possible. The world doesn't wait for you to figure out your relationship drama. Opportunities don't pause because you're emotionally unavailable. Your dreams don't hit the snooze button because you're too busy trying to make someone else happy. Life is happening right now. And every moment you spend looking backward is a moment you're not participating in your own forward movement. You're becoming a spectator in your own life, watching your potential fade while you chase ghosts from your past. Your future self is trying to communicate with you right now. They're trying to tell you about the amazing life that's waiting for you, the incredible person you're going to meet, the success you're going to achieve, the peace you're going to feel. But you can't hear them because you're too busy listening to the voices from your past. You're too busy replaying old conversations, relitigating old arguments. Your future is calling, but your past is louder because it's familiar. Think about this. Every great person in history had to leave something behind to become who they were destined to be. They had to disappoint some people to satisfy their purpose. They had to close some doors to open others. They had to say goodbye to their past to say hello to their future. This is not cruelty. This is wisdom. This is not selfishness. This is self-preservation. Abraham Lincoln had to leave his humble beginnings to become president. Oprah Winfrey had to leave her traumatic childhood behind to become a media mogul. Steve Jobs had to leave his comfort zone repeatedly to revolutionize technology. Every person who has ever achieved greatness understood one fundamental principle. You cannot reach your destination while carrying the baggage of where you came from. You cannot build your future with the tools that broke your past. The people who criticize you for moving forward are usually the ones who are stuck in their own past. They want you to stay small because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. They want you to stay broken because your healing highlights their own wounds. They want you to stay in dysfunction because your peace threatens their chaos. Don't let other people's inability to grow become your excuse to shrink. Don't let their fear of change become your reason to stay the same. Your life is not a democracy where everyone gets a vote on your decisions. Your happiness is not a committee decision. Your future is not subject to popular opinion. You don't need permission to outgrow people, places, and situations that no longer serve you. You don't need approval to choose better for yourself. You don't need consensus to upgrade your life. The only person who needs to be convinced that you deserve better is you. Success leaves clues, and one of the biggest clues is this. Successful people are ruthless about protecting their energy, their time, and their space. They understand that every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. They understand that every moment spent in the wrong relationship is a moment stolen from the right one. They understand that you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve your past and your future simultaneously. The people who belong in your future will enhance your growth, not hinder it. They will challenge you to become better, not comfortable with staying the same. They will add value to your life, not drain it. They will support your dreams, not sabotage them. They will celebrate your success, not resent it. If the relationship you're considering going back to doesn't meet these criteria, then it doesn't belong in your future. Your assignment in life requires specific types of people around you. You cannot fulfill your purpose with the wrong supporting cast. Imagine trying to perform surgery with a cooking utensil or trying to build a house with a paintbrush. It doesn't matter how much you love that cooking utensil or that paintbrush, they're simply not the right tools for the job. The same is true with relationships. Some people are not equipped to handle the level of success, happiness, and fulfillment you're moving toward. Stop trying to convince people to value you. Stop trying to prove your worth to someone who has already decided you're not worth their best effort. Stop trying to teach people how to love you when they've already shown you they're not good students. Your time and energy are too precious to waste on people who don't recognize your value. There are people in this world who will celebrate you, cherish you, and choose you every single day. Don't rob them of the opportunity to find you by staying stuck with people who have already proven they don't deserve you. The reason you keep going back is not love, it's fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of the unknown, fear that this might be the best you can do. But let me tell you something about fear. It's a liar. Fear tells you that what you have is better than what you might get. Fear tells you that familiar pain is safer than unfamiliar joy. Fear tells you that you should be grateful for crumbs when you deserve a feast. Loneliness is not your enemy. Staying in the wrong relationship is. Being alone gives you the space to grow, to heal, to discover who you really are outside of someone else's expectations and limitations. Being alone allows you to hear your own voice again, to remember your own dreams, to reconnect with your own power. Don't be afraid of your own company. The relationship you have with yourself sets the standard for every other relationship in your life. When you go back to old relationships, you're not just affecting your present, you're programming your future. You're telling the universe that you're willing to accept less than you deserve. You're training your mind to expect disappointment, drama, and dysfunction. You're creating a pattern that will repeat itself until you have the courage to break it. Your children are watching you. Your friends are watching you. Your family is watching you. More importantly, your future is watching you. What are you teaching them about love, about standards, about self-respect? What example are you setting about what's acceptable in relationships? The decisions you make today don't just affect you, they affect everyone who looks up to you and everyone who comes after you. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to think about the person you were before you met them. Remember your dreams, your goals, your confidence, your joy. Now think about who you became in that relationship. Did you grow or did you shrink? Did you soar or did you settle? Did you become more yourself or less yourself? The answer to these questions should tell you everything you need to know about whether that relationship deserves a place in your future. Stop romanticizing your past pain. Stop telling yourself stories about how things could be different if you just tried harder, loved more, gave more chances. You've already tried. You've already loved. You've already given chances. The results speak for themselves. Don't let hope become your enemy. Don't let optimism become your downfall. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to let them go. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away. Your healing begins the moment you stop trying to heal someone else. Your growth begins the moment you stop trying to change someone else. Your peace begins the moment you stop fighting for someone who won't fight for themselves. You cannot love someone into wholeness. You cannot care someone into maturity. You cannot commit someone into commitment. I need you to understand that your past relationships were preparation, not your destination. They taught you lessons, showed you red flags, revealed your patterns. and hopefully helped you understand what you will and will not accept going forward. They were the rough draft, not the final copy. They were the rehearsal, not the performance. Honor what they taught you by refusing to repeat what they showed you. The person meant for you is not behind you, they're ahead of you. They're waiting for you to become the person they're going to fall in love with. But you cannot become that person while you're still recycling old relationships. You cannot attract new love while you're still attached to old pain. You cannot write a new chapter while you're still stuck on the old page. Every day you spend looking backward is a day you're not moving forward. Every tear you shed over someone who's already proven they don't deserve your tears is a tear stolen from the joy that's waiting for you. Every prayer you pray for someone who's already walked out of your life is a prayer that could be used to attract someone who wants to walk into your life. Your future is not in your past. Your breakthrough is not behind you. Your blessing is not in your yesterday. Stop digging in a graveyard looking for flowers. Stop going to a desert looking for water. Stop going to empty wells hoping they suddenly be full. The abundance you seek is ahead of you, not behind you. Right now, somewhere in this world, there's someone who is everything your past relationship wasn't. They're loyal where the other was unfaithful. They're consistent where the other was unstable. They're supportive where the other was competitive. They're peaceful where the other was chaotic. But they cannot find you while you're still tangled up with someone from your past. You have to make room for what you want by letting go of what you don't need. You have to clear the space for new love by removing old baggage. You have to close wrong doors before right doors can open. This is not just relationship advice, this is life strategy. This is success psychology. This is the way forward. Stop making excuses for people who don't make time for you. Stop defending people who wouldn't defend you. Stop fighting for people who won't fight for the relationship. Stop choosing people who wouldn't choose you if they had other options. Your love is not a consolation prize. Your heart is not a participation trophy. You are not a backup plan. The courage to start over is the courage to truly live. The strength to walk away from what's familiar is the strength that builds character. The wisdom to know when enough is enough is the wisdom that leads to breakthrough. Don't let anyone convince you that staying in dysfunction is loyalty. Don't let anyone tell you that accepting less than you deserve is love. Your story is not over. Your best chapters have not been written yet. Your greatest love story is still ahead of you. But you have to close the book on what didn't work to begin writing what will work. You have to end the wrong story to begin the right one. You have to disappoint your past to satisfy your future. Today is your decision day. Today is your moment of choice. Will you choose growth or comfort? Will you choose possibility or familiarity? Will you choose your future or your past? The decision you make right now will determine the story you tell 5 years from now. Make it a story worth telling. Make it a story that inspires others. Make it a story that proves that sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away and never look back. But I need you to understand something crucial. This decision isn't just about you. It's about everyone who's watching you, everyone who's counting on you, everyone who needs you to be the example of what's possible. When you choose to break the cycle, you're not just changing your story, you're changing your family story. You're changing your children's story. You're changing the story of everyone who comes after you. Think about the legacy you want to leave. Do you want to be remembered as someone who settled for less than they deserved? Do you want to be remembered as someone who stayed in situations that diminished them? Do you want to be remembered as someone who was too afraid to bet on themselves? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who had the courage to walk away from what was comfortable? Your breakthrough is not just about your happiness. It's about your responsibility. You have a responsibility to become the fullest expression of who you were created to be. You have a responsibility to maximize your potential, to use your gifts, to fulfill your purpose. You cannot do that while you're entangled in relationships that drain your energy, diminish your confidence, and distract you from your calling. The person you're meant to become is not going to emerge from the comfort of familiar dysfunction. They're going to emerge from the courage of unfamiliar growth. They're going to emerge when you finally decide that your future is more important than your past, that your potential is more important than your comfort, that your purpose is more important than your fear. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your opportunity to rewrite your story, to reclaim your power, to restart your life. The door to your future is standing wide open, but you have to walk through it. No one can do it for you. No one can make this decision for you. No one can take this step for you. This is your choice, your moment, your miracle waiting to happen. Your new life is waiting. Your new love is waiting. Your new joy is waiting. But they're waiting for you to have the courage to close the door on what was so that what will be can finally arrive. The key to your future is in your hand right now. All you have to do is turn it, open the door, and step forward into the magnificent life that's been waiting for you all along.